I thought our team played really hard tonight. The two previous games that we've played, in particular the first one against Baylor, I thought we were not as competitive as we needed to be, and I thought we played hard and really competitive, but we just didn't execute things the way that you have to execute against a team as good as they are. At times we did, but offensively we really struggled to reverse the basketball tonight. I think that's a reflection of just 8 assists when we've been a team all year long that's had a high assist turnover ratio, and we just couldn't get that turned around tonight at all. We just couldn't get the ball reversed. It got stuck too much. And then defensively, we just had some lapses where we didn't play particular actions the way that we needed to. But again, in saying that, we were right there, and I had a poorly timed technical that I take full responsibility for. I'm disappointed in myself. Definitely my fault on that one. But again, I'm proud of our effort, but just didn't execute the way we needed to win.
Okay, we're going to take questions for our student athletes first, and then we'll let them return to the locker room. Question on the front.
Rick Ham to the Austin American Statesman. Brooke, the feeling from a lot of people sitting courtside was, even though you lost the game, you showed so much fight, poise, things that maybe you hadn't shown in games that you actually had won previously. Can you talk about how proud of you guys are of the fight and that you could have won?
I think it just goes back to what Coach said about our effort. Our effort was great tonight, but we just came up short.
Michelle on the other side.
Michelle Vogel, ESPN.com. I guess for Brooke and for Ariel, how difficult was it at times with Cox in there? I mean, the way she's able to block shots, and she just takes up a lot of space in there. And obviously Brown, how difficult did that make it at times in terms of you guys executing the offense the way that the coach was talking about?
They definitely present a challenge, but like Coach said, it goes back to us executing the ball, executing our plays, and what she wants us to do is sticking with the game plan.
Either one of you guys, as I know you're disappointed now, but does this game sort of represent to you the fact that you guys can play with anybody, in terms of going forward now with the NCAA tournament and the way that you played? Or are you going to be able to sort of get over this disappointment and go into the tournament fresh?
Definitely. I mean, this loss is disappointing, but we have a bigger picture to look forward to.
Ariel, do you want to comment?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, all right. Great.
For either of you, they got the 4 free throws. Did you still feel like you were going to win the game even after the technical foul?
Yes, we still feel like we had a chance.
Anything else for our student athletes?
Either of you again. What will you think about when you think about missed opportunities tonight, when you think back on things that you could have done or almost did or should have done?
I think we'll think about execution and following the game plan.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, ladies, we're going to let you back to the locker room. Congratulations on a great season and good luck on the NCAA. Watch your step, please. Okay, questions for Coach? Michelle?
Karen, was that just sort of was there sort of a frustration? I know you can't really talk about officiating. Was it just sort of a frustration there that was in the moment, or was it something that built up, with the technical?
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot going on at times that it just seemed to, a little, maybe in that moment it felt like a nitpicky call based on everything that was going on. And it was a timely call, but also a timely technical. No question.
Just what we were sort of asking the kids in terms of turning the page on this. I mean, Baylor could very well be a #1 seed if they're not their #2. You guys are going to be a #2. Can you even though these games have been disappointing, can you take how well you've played against them and use that as a motivating factor going into the tournament?
I mean, I told them in the locker room, one of the things that was just real glaring tonight, again, I said that just a few minutes ago, was just that we didn't have any assists. And I think we had 3 at half, and that's really unlike our team. We had a few turnovers in transition that are a little uncharacteristic of us, but again, in the half court, we have to be able to execute certain things that are called, and a lot of those involve ball reversal against really, really talented teams. And, I mean, obviously we have some time to work on that, but I thought that our shot selection, in the first half, I thought we played really, really good in the first half, but our shot selection kind of shot us in the foot a little bit. And the other thing I would say is this is probably has to do with extra passes and recognition, but I thought Jatari White was having a real good night, and we just didn't get her the ball enough. I mean, she only shot 8 times. And it was talked about several times, and we just couldn't, we were in a hurry individually to look for your shots, but I thought we could have played off of Jatari a lot more than we did. I thought she competed at a really high level today. So to answer your question, we should be able to move forward in that sense, because I think she kind of went through a stretch where she was questioning herself a little bit a few weeks ago, and she's kind of found herself in this tournament, and that's a good thing for us as we move forward in the NCAAs.
Rick.
Coach, I already know that you know the answer to this, but does a game like this solidify in your mind that you can beat anybody in the country?
I've never thought that we couldn't, honestly. I mean, I understand that this is an important game and an important team for us to beat. I mean, as all the ones are that you get into that elite level. And I mean, I completely understand that, but I also think that we have beaten some teams that are really, really good. And I think we're just a few situations away from being able to beat anybody in the country. But again, you have to be able to do that, and I understand that.
Got a question halfway back on the left.
David Smoke, ESPN Central Texas. Karen, when you guys made that 10-0 run after Landrum hit the 3, was that a moment where you thought maybe you had broken through mentally against Baylor, and that was a chance to maybe take it to the next level?
I don't know that I thought about that in that moment. I mean, we're just trying to play. We're trying to get stops, and I just thought there were some critical moments where had we just played the tendencies. They didn't do anything that, I mean, obviously nobody does anything in conference tournaments that would surprise any. I mean, we've played each other twice. We all know each other's plays. We know each other's tendencies, and so it becomes, who can really stay focused on the individual tendencies of the players or the tendencies of the team. And after we made that run, I thought we kind of let them off the hook a little bit by just not playing smart enough, over-aggressive, instead of just, play the tendencies of the players and make them make tough shots.
Michelle?
With facing Cox and Brown in particular, I mean, they very well may be the best duo in the whole country in terms of post players. What is it that makes them particularly tough? Is it how well they complement each other?
Well, I think they've definitely learned. I mean, they have chemistry, and they've learned how to play off of each other. There's no question about that. I think Lauren's ability to hit the perimeter shot has helped tremendously, as opposed to maybe last year. And then on the flip side of that, I mean, just their shot blocking ability changes a lot of driving lanes, and that's where you have to force yourself to reverse the basketball to get them moving, or they're going to stay camped where they're at, and we just didn't do that tonight.
All the way on the rear, Gary?
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Kieran, with a freshman point guard, with a sophomore at the other spot, I know you tried to press a little bit. Did you think that maybe they would turn it over a little more?
Some of the press was not necessarily to get them to turn it over. It was, they have a tendency to try to walk it down sometimes and make sure that they're set wherever they are, make sure the big girls are where they need to be. And so just to maybe get them in a little bit of a hurry to run their actions and throw their timing off a little bit. So it wasn't, at the end, obviously, we were trying to get them to turn the ball over, but we picked up full court quite a bit, and most of it was for that purpose.
Speaking of that, did you see any difference with the loss of Christy Wallace? Did you prep differently? Did you think much about how they would counter and expect Alexis to handle it the way she did?
She definitely played really well. She had some really big shots for them. You're going to look at it a little bit differently than with Wallace in there. So there were opportunities, especially with Cohen getting in foul trouble. There were some opportunities to pack the paint a little differently, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. We just, at times, got a little anxious again and didn't play the player tendencies, which I think are really important.